Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the latest episode of The Life Experience. Today we will be talking about our greatest fears. My name is Grace, and I am here with
Elizabeth.
Alex.
Faith.
So, guys, what are your greatest fears? What are you afraid of?
I don't like spiders.
That's a lame fear.
I know it's a lame fear,
That's a
but
lame
it's
fear.
my fear. Shush.
Okay, but how afraid are you of them? Are you like seeing them like, eh? Or are you just like seeing it like, oh, I don't like that?
I end up freezing up because of it. That was my, really bad fear. I was joking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm afraid of spiders, but, not as much as... I thought we were supposed to get the non-tangible fears. Right?
I don't care what kind of fears you bring up.
I'm afraid of failure.
Well, I think a lot of people are afraid of failure.
It's more like falling behind everyone else.
Yeah. Where would you say that comes from?
I don't know. How would you guys describe me academically?
Very smart, very advanced.
I'm going to go with what Faye says because I don't really know you that well.
So, if that's what kind of defines me as a student, I'm going to want to try and keep that or keep it up to a certain level. And that sort of means that I'm competing with everyone else who's my peers. And we're all trying to do our very best, and anything less than 100 needs work or improvement. And it's kind of difficult eventually because you get to the point where it's like, I'm not good enough.
Yeah. I'd say a lot of students struggle with that too.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree. I think standards is one of my biggest fears.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
worried that people are gonna see me as I don't even know how to explain it.
A purple-haired weirdo.
Shut up, Lizzie. No,
Wow.
I mean people are just gonna think that I'm not living up to the standards, and I try really hard, and I worry that I don't know. I just get scared that I'm not trying hard enough and that I'm not being good enough at what I'm supposed to be good at.
Honestly, with me, I don't really care too much for me about that. It's more just what I think needs to be dealt with and what I need to get to. And honestly, with me about that, the only fear I have about that is that people see me for who I'm not really am, especially when it comes to me and my family, because I look a lot like my dad, unbelievably a lot like my dad. And so I'm just kind of scared that people are going to see me and think that I'm basically the same as my dad. Yeah, we're really similar, believe it or not, but not exactly all the time. And so that's just kind of my fear about that, just being seen as someone that I'm not really, being seen as I'm the shadow of my father when I'm not.
Faith, what's your biggest fear?
Oh.
I said sure.
What level are we talking about?
Just whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay. Oh God.
You were going off about standards earlier.
Yeah, I know.
You
I
were
was
also
trying to
talking
think
about
of-
cicada killers.
Wait,
Cicada-
what?
Oh, not even cicada killers, just cicadas. It's this
Yeah, they're
deep
kinda
primal
creepy.
fear. I don't even know why. It's just
you
I
seen
see
those
one
things? They're
and
little
I jump
toppers.
into the nearest person's arms.
What exactly
It's
is
literally
this?
terrifying to me.
The cicadas are the ones that leave behind the little shells.
And they're that.
Yeah.
And they
So
buzz.
as a kid, you never
Buzz?
got the shells and put
almost
them on
every
you.
other bug that flies, they buzz.
Yeah, I would crush up the shells. If I found them on a tree, I'd crush it up.
Honestly, if I found them on a tree, I literally just grab the nearest stick and just start knocking them off.
But it was crazy.
Even if it was a real bug, I'd just go.
Whenever
Goodbye.
you saw the actual thing and not the shell, it was crazy because they look so different
Oh my
from
God,
the
I hate
shell
them
and the actual
so much.
cicada.
That's not even my deepest fear. That's just I see it and I freak out. I don't know. I have
Between
really
12 and
bad
6.
anxiety. So I guess one of my deepest fears is that I'm just constantly being judged by people. I want to be able to live my life in peace without being constantly worried about oh, does this person actually like me? Oh, are they mad at me? That kind of thing.
I can relate on a personal level.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears is as stupid as it sounds, is when people are mad at me. I'm an insane people pleaser, And, like, I love the people that I have in my life, so when they're mad at me, like, I would do literally anything to fix it.
Anything?
Stop, Liz. You know what I mean.
I can relate to that, but honestly, I'm not too what's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember the word I was looking for. But, like, I don't find it as important. Like, I do find it important that people like me, but that's why I am kind of selective with my friend group. But honestly, even then, you're chill with me and I'm chill, then I'm going to be chill with you. That's really how it is. Like, all of my friends, we just mess around. Yeah, we make fun of each other, but that's all fun and games. But once it gets a little too far, then I say something, and if they gets to a point where it doesn't really work out, then I'm just like, hey, like, chill, dude. It's not cool.
I just keep in mind that people are judging me as much as I'm judging them. And most of the time, if I walk past someone in the hallway, they're not going to care about me at all. They're just going to be like, oh, we just passed. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think for me, I judge myself more than I expect other people to judge me, because I'm very self-critical about my success in pretty much anything. I always try to do my best, but a lot of the times I think my best isn't good enough compared to other people. So it's more self-set for me.
Yeah. I'd definitely say that I'm very good at comparing myself to other people, especially in math class. Like,
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
sitting there with, like,
Yeah,
half
me
my
too.
problems that I missed. And then this kid got 100 next to me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
I have an example. Unless you wanted to say
No, I was just going to say something about Kahoot. Like, when people can see that when you get the answer wrong, like, that's
Oh, yeah.
so embarrassing.
No, what really pisses me off on Kahoot is that if you miss one question, there's a possibility you can drop from first to 12th.
yeah.
That has happened to me, and I straight up just wanted to flip the desk over. Like, I was in first place, and I was like, I got this. I missed one answer
No, you know
that
what's-
everyone else got right, and it was...
You know what's even worse
God.
is when you're like in first or second or something, and that happens, and it's like the last question, so there's no chance of getting it back.
No, the worst possible what happens is when you still answer correctly, and it dropped.
I know.
That's happened to me like 3 times, and I get so pissed because it's like, well, I got it right. Apparently Kahoot doesn't see.
My
that it
favorite
was worthy.
thing freshman year in Spanish, I was so good at it. I was so good at Spanish in general because I'd retaken the year over. And I'd make two Kahoot pages and play on both of them and then get first and
Oh
second
my
place in the
God.
class.
I could not. I've had, like, the worst experiences with Kahoot. Like, there was, like, one time, like, okay, granted, I wasn't really trying, but, like, I was the only one that got an answer wrong, and someone was like, who's the one person that chose this? And I just slowly, like, shut my computer lid. I was
Honestly-
like, not me.
Honestly-
No, like that nod where people turn it down, like they tilt the lid down so other people can't see. You know
And
who
honestly-
got it wrong
And honestly,
because
on
they do
Kahoot,
that.
on Kahoot days, I love to sit in the back of the room because if I do get it wrong, even if it's something stupid that I know that I got wrong, so like no, it's not like people looking around up front like, hey,
You
you got
can
green,
see-
you got red. I'm just back here like,
If you sit in the back, you can see other people's answers as well as what they got.
exactly.
That is true.
I really don't do that.
But
just
I
try
always
to-
sit in the front, so it doesn't matter.
You're smart.
No, because I'm blind.
I really don't try to do that. I feel like that's cheating, and I see, and honestly, with most games, well, pretty much all games, I don't like to cheat or like stupid tactics like that. So I kind of see Kahoot as a little kind of game because it's like, oh,
It is a game.
well, yeah, well, I mean, like more like gaming than learning.
Oh.
So I say we all have a crippling fear of losing Kahoot. That's pretty
We
bad.
definitely do.
That's the
Evaluating our
American.
psyches.
That's the American school system now. Is you are traumatizing your children with Kahoot. How dare you?
Okay, but I'd say my biggest fear on the school note is a school shooter. That is
my God.
my biggest fear.
It's crazy. There's been, like, so many cases of that. That's definitely understandable.
It's kind of declined now, though.
The amount of
Somewhat.
school shootings have declined, I saw, but the amount of mass shootings has gone up.
It has.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Well, the way I see it is if you give something more attention, it will happen more often. And that's what we did for a while, and then it lost popularity, and then you don't hear about it as much anymore.
And it's the Cappy-Cop method. Same thing with, like,
Yeah.
publicized suicides. That was a big topic when 13 Reasons Why came out. Because it was, like, popularizing at something. And if somebody sees it and they think, oh, that's kind of okay, they see it on TV, you know, they see it as an easy way out. But I never realized this fear until this year when we got the blood bleeding kits that hang around the school. Have you guys noticed those?
What?
The what?
Like the bleeding control kits. Like they just hang out like on the wall,
Oh, yeah,
kind of like a fire
those.
hydrant.
Yeah.
Have you guys not noticed them?
I've seen them like once or twice, but I didn't know like why they were there.
I don't even know who you guys are talking about, to be honest.
Who?
They're just like little packages that come out from the wall that have like first
Oh,
aid
those.
stuff in them.
Mhm.
Aren't those mandatory?
No, we just got them this year. I never noticed them before this year. And we're gonna do a thing in health club to learn how to use them.
That's where the AED is, right?
No, it's different than an AED.
No, I'm saying like the little first aid kits. That
No, they're
the red
like
ones
bigger
that they
first
put on
aid
the wall.
kits.
But they're basically first aid kits. The little
Yes.
red packages about yay big, and they put them on the wall, and they have a sign that says first aid, and then if there's an emergency, everyone knows where to go, and they
Yeah.
go to the thing.
hmm It's sort of like that, but it says bleeding control kit on it.
And what's the difference?
It has more supplies in it, I think,
Yeah.
more like severe cases.
I
Like
think it's for more severe injuries.
the first
like-
aid kit might have some band-aids, but like
Yeah. And I think like the first aid is more like the AED kind of stuff, like in case there's like
You
an
call
emergency like
911.
that.
You get an AED.
But I think the
I'm gonna
bleeding,
save this man.
I think the bleeding control kits are more for like actual like
Life or
injury,
death.
like if you like got a cut or like something like that happened. Well, not like
If
a cut, but like
just take a
do you
walk
know what
to
I
the
mean?
nurse's office.
Yeah, okay, not a
Give
cut,
you a pack
but
of
like
ice,
it's like
it'll be that
super
simple.
serious, like
if you
like
got
if
shot
there was a
and you're
school
bleeding
shooter and you
out.
got a shot.
That's
Yeah.
what they're
Apply
for.
pressure, go
Bro.
to a hospital. There's
No.
one right nearby.
Okay, y'all forget the bleeding control kits. I guess Lizzie's the first aid.
Yeah.
Your hand is your first aid. Slap it down. Get some duct tape. I don't
Stop
know.
the
Get some,
But-
get some duct tape, wrap it around.
Duct tape solves every problem, including bullet holes.
It is true. Doesn't solve the fact that there's a bullet in you, but
I mean, yeah, but it's probably blocking something that it should. So don't take it out unless you're a medical professional.
You know what really scares me? The fact that Lizzie knows all of this.
I mean, it's helpful stuff to know.
Thank you, Internet. You'll save my life probably one day.
So, Alex, I think it's your turn to share
Huh?
your greatest fear. Like, what
Ah.
are you afraid of?
Honestly, let's see. So I'm not.
Like
I'm
a
not, I'm not saying. I'm not
flying-
saying I'm really fearless, but like, because I don't really think too much about stuff like that. So I think the most is gonna have to be not being able to see my brothers. That's gotta be the worst for me because we all three of us been through rough times, and especially when they said they wanted to move back here when we lived in LA, and I said I wanted to stay there. Like I couldn't leave my house. Like it was just, I couldn't. It was the worst. Like literally there was times where I had to be locked out of my house to stay out of my house. And honestly, I don't see any way where I could leave them. At least not now. That's just gotta be it, just losing my brothers.
Yeah, that's a good fear to have. Like,
Is that more like separation? From
Yeah,
them,
separation.
Or like
into the mic.
you actually lose? Sorry. Is that more separation from them or
Well, yeah, it's more-
losing them like they die?
Well,
that type of
it's
thing?
kind of both. It's honestly, even though I know this might sound weird, but honestly, I feel like separation would be worse than them dying because if they're dead, they're really. It's not like I can go visit them at their grave or whatever happens, but if it's separation, that means I know that they're somewhere else and they're not gonna and they will keep moving. It's not like I can. It's weird because like if they're dead, most likely there's gonna be a grave, so then I can go there and I can completely go there. But if they're separated from me, and it somehow gets to the point where I can't see them, it's like I know they're out there, but I can't do anything about it.
yeah, because then you're just worried. But at least
Exactly.
if they're dead, you know that nothing else can happen.
Exactly, and so
Are you younger or older?
I'm the oldest out of the three.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Big brother. Big
Yep.
brother vibes.
Huh?
Are you like really protective of them, and that's why?
Yeah, because we've been through some stuff that it's just ridiculous, and there's one family member that I don't even care for anymore just because of the fact of the verbal abuse to my brothers, and I can't deal with them anymore, so I kind of just don't talk to them.
Yeah.
At this point.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have any lame fears here, like flying or heights.
Oh my god, who would be
I literally
afraid of
told you one of my
flying?
fears was flying, so you don't need to call me
That's
out
a
like
lame
that.
fear.
No, okay, I'm not scared of flying. I'm scared
Okay.
of plane crashes.
Now that's a reasonable fear because everybody's
Flying
afraid of
or
that.
flying on an airplane?
Flying on an airplane.
Flying with like.
That would be cool.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Who would be afraid
Okay,
of that?
so
That'd be awesome.
With an airplane, you don't really have control over if it crashes or not. So like,
Well,
Once you're the
just
pilot.
know.
well, yeah, I don't have a pilot's license. I can't fly a plane.
Just know.
I'm just worried
That
that the
hasn't,
pilot's gonna
stopped
be.
people in the past.
If you crash,
like,
you probably won't feel that much.
Lizzie,
Probably.
that doesn't help
I don't
at
know
all.
from
Okay, but-
personal experience, but I can assume it would be like a quick landing.
Lizzie.
Just like boom, and then there's nothing. It's so quick you won't
okay, just so you
even
know, when a plane crashes, it also depends on the terrain. Because there are
Yeah,
times
true,
where people
true.
can survive a plane crash because of
know.
the terrain.
We really gotta be
Like-
talking about
So
this
just
right now.
like if you're in a plane crash, you can hope that you would die, but that's
Lizzie.
They'll identify you by your teeth, I heard. Like,
What?
if that's the last
What?
thing available, I think they can identify you by
my
your
God.
teeth.
oh well yeah.
Like,
they
if
can
your
Well,
face
yeah.
gets all
identify
messed
your
up.
teeth.
Well, most likely in a plane
I'm
crash,
definitely
it's
never
either going
going
to be
anywhere
destroyed.
on a plane ever again.
This is
So,
where
like,
I'm
you're
going
that
to lay
afraid,
in
not
some World
I've
War
never been
II
on a
history
plane at all.
facts
Great.
where they would put dog
Then how do you
tags
know you're
back
afraid?
in their
into the
mouth.
skull
Because
of
the
someone
possibility
when they
of that
die,
happening.
because eventually they would rot, and then all that was left is a skull, and you can't define someone by their skull. So then they would shake the skull, and then the dog tags would fall out, and that's how you know whose body it was. History facts.
I know this kind of seems messed up, but do you think any World War II, like people that went
It
searching,
might have
ever
been
picked
World
up a
War I.
skull and just repeated Shakespeare?
Oh my god!
Like I know it kind of seems
my
messed
God.
up.
That's
or
so
not
morbid.
To be
I know.
in,
Like I know it seems bad, but like, have you ever thought of it? Like, there's got to be at least one person in history that's picked up a skull
Oh, you know
besides Shakespeare. Just
Well, yeah, probably, but like that's so morbid.
I get
it
that.
doesn't even have to be in war for someone to do that.
exactly.
I guess.
Well, I'm just saying, in the case of war, do you think there's got to be at least one person?
Oh,
that's
there's
done
got to
that?
be more than one person
Yeah.
who does that.
I guess on the topic of fears, this is just kind of like a general thing, and I think it applies to a bunch of people, not just me. But like the state of the world as it is, like
Oh, I don't
I'm
worry
really
about that.
worried about the kind of stuff that's gonna like happen in the future to like the Earth and where we are, just because of like some of the stuff that's going on now. It's really scary to think about what could happen if things don't change.
That's why we got people working on Mars.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some Mars
We
soon.
shouldn't
We
have
will.
to.
We're
just gonna
working
boot it
on
out of
Mars.
here.
We should take care of where we're at now and then focus on that if that's a last resort.
Did you cry?
No.
You sounded like
It's
it.
called allergies,
No,
Elizabeth.
like, your voice like, wavered, and I'm like, "Are you crying?
No.
Are you alright? Do you care about the Earth that much?"
Look, Lizzie, I may be a crybaby, but not that much of one.
Look, I know the Earth is important and all, but it's not something to cry over.
Reusable mugs.
It kind of is
Hydro
though.
flask.
And water glasses.
I'm joking. Take a joke.
JK,
Okay.
bro.
Fine.
It's about time to wrap things up. Any
Already?
final things to say?
Well, I can tell you my anecdote about last year, about my fear.
Okay.
So, fear of failure, right? Or at least falling behind your peers. You guys determined that I was smart, and with that, okay, pre-ACT, we got the results in the school day. I made the mistake of going with everyone else in my class. Can you guess what class it was?
Your smart people class.
Freaking AP Physics.
Yikes.
which
Oh.
is full of
Yikes.
ridiculously smart people.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is getting like 33s, 34s. And here I am with a freaking 27. And I'm like, oh my God.
I got like
got
a
a
24. Yeah, like
I
a
know.
24.
And there's like two reactions where it's like, oh, that's so good comparatively. Again, everything is comparative with me. So
I feel
like,
really dumb because I'm pretty sure I got a 22, so I feel really dumb in this group.
You didn't get a
well, that's
19.
what
It's okay.
I felt then because I was surrounded by all of these super smart people, and I felt like, oh, I don't deserve to be here at all. I should not be here. I should be like in another class. And like, what happened? I thought I was better than this. So
Honestly,
that sucked.
Whenever I think of stuff like that, I just think about like I'm not like I don't want to make this sound like I'm being a bad guy or anything, but like I just think about it because there's people that are worse than me, and I already feel like I'm horrible. So there's people worse than me, and I'm like, you know what? I am where I am because because of what I do. As obviously you can tell,
It's
English
like
is
a-
not my best language.
Like a
but
grateful thing type.
yeah,
type
it's just
deal.
like
I personally think the ACT is ridiculous because that only judges you on tests and nothing else.
Oh my God, yeah.
and even then it doesn't really
Standardized
matter.
testing too.
The-
It's
like-
an
It only matters
okay
for
thing.
scholarships.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's it.
If it
Really.
wasn't on scholarships, I would think it's a great test to me. I don't know. But like science, that portion I did terribly on.
Me too.
And I don't really understand the science portion.
It
It's
wasn't
all-
science, it was graphs. It was
But-
reading
Yeah,
graphs
the whole-
and
the whole-
understanding.
Which
yeah, the whole
I
point of
did
science
not
is-
prepare for at all. I didn't think it would be graph analysis at all.
I went into thinking, great, I just finished anatomy and physiology, one of the hardest science classes.
Uh-huh.
And then it was all graphs. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
It's just like that one Buzz Lightyear meme, just all that academy training wasted.
Yeah.
Well, one of
Yeah,
the
and then-
flaws- Sorry, go ahead.
Like people don't realize what is on the test, and then they prepare for the wrong things, and then when they take the test and they might do poorly compared to what they wanted, and then because there's a lot of scholarships and colleges that like depend on your score to enter and do well in, that's what really makes us as students hate it, is because sorry, that's like we don't like it because that's basically limiting how much that we can do later in life based on what we can do now. Oh my God.
Okay. Nice thoughts. Let's wrap this up. Everybody say bye.
Bye.